Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Kingdoms and Castles in the thriving Kingdom of Dragonstone, where our workers are hard at work chopping down this forest, ready to start building some farms. I noticed I've missed one over there. There we go. Oh, and more are growing. Damn it, that's the thing. I think we're, like, the total number of trees on the map is a little bit low at the moment, which means that trees like to spontaneously grow, which could be a little bit annoying as they're trying to work. They also might be spreading across the road. I'm not really sure how the tree spreading goes, but it does seem like they've been regrowing a lot recently. I mean, all the trails that were once made by ogres smashing their way through are gone. But yeah, today we're going to build a load of farms. That is the idea. And I realise that means I'm going to have to remove some of the piers that I've just built to make room for the Noria that we'll use. Actually, we'll have to work out exactly what we're going to do. We want to make sure to make as good a use of the space we have as possible. So let's plan that out as the very first thing. So we'll get the reservoir and we'll work out where we can put it so that it just about covers everything. And the answer is right in this spot. Actually, there's options. There's this or this. Any further and it's not wide enough to cover everything. So I guess we'll plunk it right there. So we'll chop this. And in a minute we can build that. And then we'll work our way back from there. We'll see how far away we can build the Noria. And then we can see how many like reservoirs and stuff we can fit everywhere else. You can just run along this line, I guess, with some aqueducts. So once that's chopped, we've got to get the timing right or it might regrow all of a sudden. Good to see they've stopped regrowing over there now, at least. For the moment, they might come back. There we go. So that's in place. We've got that planned out. Don't need it right now. But now we know that we've got that covered. Yeah, so farms, farms, farms. And then windmills, windmills, windmills. Is, I guess, the basic idea. So let's put the windmills in first. We can work out the way they all line up. Let me think about this. I mean, there's no reason not to put one there, because that's just empty. Actually, we'll put a well there, I guess, to make that all line up nicely, and then we can have a pair here, and then two here, and then a gap, and then two here, and then we've got a bit of space left at the end, so it doesn't line up amazingly. I was hoping that would work. One thing worth checking actually is whether it actually makes sense to have a complete strip of windmills all the way along. The way to do that, I think, is to start building it and then see how it actually looks. Easiest way, I think. So let's build. What way should we have them facing? We've got these ones facing out that way, so. But then there's those ones facing that way. We'll keep consistency with the nearer ones, and we'll put them facing towards the wall, admittedly. And we'll just put this bit in here, and then we'll work out. In fact, we'll do the whole thing. We'll just get all of that done, and then maybe we'll do some over here. Now, you know what? In that case, we should do it the other way around. Hold on, abort some of these. Not all of them. This change makes very little overall difference. It's going to be like 2 extra food or whatever. But I think it makes more sense to have them up here, and then we can have that one there. And that's the entire point of moving those all up by a tile. And of course, also to build the farms. So, scratch my previous statement of, well, oh, of course I can't actually fill everything in yet because the reservoir is not active, but I think we can fill in enough to be able to work everything out. Did we do that one? Nope. Just put in all the ones that we can, and then we'll sort out the rest later. And they can use the wood from the trees that were chopped down here to make the farms. I don't know why farms are made of wood in the first place. I guess maybe they put boxing around them. Maybe there's fences. I don't really know. I would say that it saves on transporting the wood, but apparently nobody got the memo and they're bringing the wood in anyway, and there's a whole bunch of wood sat around not being used. Maybe someone's on their way to retrieve that and use it for some of the farms. Right, as soon as all the farms and the windmills are built, we can start looking at the numbers of it. Of course, the last couple are taking forever. What's happened with these ones? There's nobody working on these at all. Terrible. Oh, there's a dragon. We didn't spot it in time, but can we find it in the sea? I don't think we can. Oh, it was there, briefly. There was a moment where it was there. So there was a dragon there for a second. Oh, dear. Rain ruining all our farms. That's the thing. I haven't built orchards in a while. Maybe I should have some of those. But they're less efficient, but also they won't result in catastrophic famines in years where it rains. We'll have to keep an eye on that, actually. Yeah, we lost some overall last year. How's everyone's happiness? They're doing okay. Only 3 plague deaths this time. Right, we can look at this now, or can we because of the water? Yeah, it still tells us the food output. So yeah, this one here is producing 10. Let's see what the best farm we have is. It's 11 actually. Why is it 11 now? It was 10 a second ago. What's changing? A master worker must have turned up. Okay, so 11 food a year. And so if we remove that and replace it with a windmill, the windmills give... Wait, 4? Oh, of course, because it's counting both of them. Yeah, so each one gives 2. So if we put a windmill there, it will generate 12. So it in fact does make sense, even in the case of high soil fertility, to have a complete strip of windmills. So that's interesting news. So in that case, we'll delete all these and put a whole bunch of extra windmills in. This wouldn't previously have worked, but because of irrigation, it now makes sense, because of course in these ones there's only 4 farms being covered, but we can build the farms there once the reservoir is operational, and so that does actually line up. As for the ends of these rows, I don't think so. I managed to miss building a farm there, which is annoying, because I want to look at that exact farm. This one up here then, this one is producing 8. If we built a windmill there instead, it would only add 6 production, so that is not worth it. Here it does make sense because there's a whole lot of farms going to be getting the bonus, so we'll demolish that and build another windmill. And it's also going to be the case here. Whoops, I managed to misclick entirely. But there we go. Technically, I could build one there, and that would be producing another 8 food, but I don't like it. It's not going to look right. Then again, if this is only producing 7 per year. But that's not counting the windmill. That'll make it 9, meaning that if I replaced it with a windmill, we would lose 1 food production per year. So there we go. This is the way to do farms, as long as you have irrigation operational. Right. That might be enough to start working on more houses again. Not that there's any particular urgency to that. We can perhaps build more farms here first. Annoyingly, there's stone and stuff around here. Gonna get in the way of things and be annoying. And it's not the end of the world, but... I mean, we could demolish them. How's our tool situation doing? I haven't looked at any of these in ages. They all seem to be fantastic, so... Apparently we're losing 19 tools a year? But we're still at nearly 700 tools. Actually, I was moused over the wrong one. Why does it... The positioning of stuff is confusing. Doesn't really show the boundaries well. Doesn't show them at all, in fact. Yeah, we're losing 20 tools per year, but we still have over 600, so that's wonderful. We're slowly gaining armaments, because there's like 1 blacksmith working on them. We're gaining iron a small amount every year. Gaining charcoal a decent amount every year. That's wonderful. Currently our food is absolutely maxed. People are just eating it straight out of the fields. We got 300 extra food in the last year. I'm gonna build more houses. This may result in fires, because apparently our fire dealing with situation is not as good as I hoped, or perhaps as it was previously. Let's just destroy everything here. We also want to build roads through. It's going to be difficult to do because it's right next to a forester. They're going to be constantly rebuilding it. We'll have to try and build quickly whenever possible. Oh, have we missed that one? No, there's another tree there. There we go, that one and that one. Are we going to manage to do the whole thing, or are they going to start regrowing them? There. And also there and there and there. And in a moment. Oh no, that one did regrow. And also, they're starting to regrow beyond the road. Let's build our 5 manors. There, and... Damn it, another one grew. This is going to be a difficult one to keep on top of. We'll also build... Oh, that's not a stone road, that is a house. That is not a good form of transportation. The pedestrians will struggle to use that to get from A to B. There we go, that's all those ordered, and we should also put our central gubbins in. So that's going to be all of these trees going, including the actual woodcutter itself, so we'll get rid of that as well. And then that will make it a lot easier for all this stuff to be removed, though there are other woodcutters around that are going to ruin things. Right, we'll build a well up here. We'll build our tavern this way around, I guess. I don't think it actually matters. And our library. Door facing outwards. Next up is the market. That's gonna go here in a second. And then next up is the church. Except more trees have grown. So I'll have to time this one. So the church goes... Oh, did that actually... Oh, no, it did get ordered. It just didn't really... That's because it was already red because of the trees. Yeah, we'll just have to time that. That'll be fine. We might get rid of all this stuff soon, not really sure. There we go. And then a town center thing. What's it called? A town square. There, and then we'll repeat our pattern at the top. Over here with our tavern. And our library. And our well. And that won't be enough fire suppression, as we've learned, but it'll help. It might be okay. How's food doing? Only gained 13 last year, so I'm guessing that that's because they were feeding these people. We'll have to keep an eye on it. And oh, now it's negative. So we probably need more farms. Which is fairly reasonable. We probably also need a whole bunch of granaries here. I forgot about that step of the process. Let's add those in. And also, we'll build our little well here to... yeah, one there as well. Lines up quite nicely, really. Not perfectly rotationally symmetrical, but close. And it's probably enough to prevent the fires. Well, we're not really sure anymore. Right, granaries. I mean, I could just spam a million granaries here. Just 2 there, and then 1 in the middle as well. Is there anything else we could even put there, apart from another granary? I don't really think so. We could put the Noria somewhere around here, but there's not quite enough space, and what I want to do is have it somewhere over here so it can stretch to over here and cover the entire island, possibly. Which will be very convenient. A baker, maybe? For now, we'll just put another granary. Just cover it in them. We could do the same thing on the other end. That doesn't make sense over there because there's not any houses over here to actually feed. We want the food to be going in this direction. And this is probably enough storage for this entire group of farms. Yeah, right now there's just a whole bunch of food just sat there. So that'll be part of why we... Oh yeah, we lost 700 to exposure. That's probably to do with the whole this farm thing. We improved it to 500, but we still lost a whole bunch from this farm alone. Right, next up, annoyingly, this is all in the way. Maybe I should have sidestepped this. Yeah, just for now. Oh, but then again, the land goes in this direction further down, so that's probably for the best. We also need to work out the exact range that the water covers. So once it gets out of the Noria, it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I think maybe one more, so like 15 then. Plus the 2 reservoirs themselves, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and a Noria, a reservoir, right over here. So what we probably want to do is turn a corner a little bit earlier on than that so that we can definitely cover the land down here. So I reckon we can get this entire place irrigated. We'll have to see though, it depends on exactly how the water works and we're still not 100% on that. For now I'm going to leave it just because there's stuff in the way and it's awkward and reasons and stuff. We need to finish our walls and things. I sort of forgot about that over here. We haven't actually finished the work. So let's just build out the remaining section of wall, and then for the first time in a while actually, we'll once again have complete wall coverage all around the kingdom. Which will be very nice. Not that it's made much of a difference, but at some point the Vikings will end up attacking our weak point, and they'll cause massive damage. So we'll prevent that before it can happen. And that's all the towers done. We can clear out this stuff. We ended up going a little bit too far. We got overzealous with our wall building. We can scale it back a bit. We can also get rid of this weird tower sticking out the side here. And we'll order all our towers. So, whoops, archers here, 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 and on the corner. Then there's 2 along here. And the ballista towers in the remaining gaps. I'm so happy about how everything's lined up. It was definitely worth it to work out exactly where to put the walls so that everything just neatly, perfectly positions itself all the way along. It's just a shame that this is a 4 wide gap and not like a 2 wide, but it means that what we could do later is have it go in like this and then have like a port or something. That might look nice. 1 peasant died of plague. That's a decent rate. Oh, only 83 were ill in the first place though, so it can definitely get worse than this. Population's doing terrible as well. Is it just like, what happened? Have a bunch of people been dying and it's just not mentioned it? Ooh, Vikings are invading. Here they are. Oh yeah, that's the thing. We've not quite built our towers yet, so they're gonna get through potentially. This could actually be a problem. All the ones that go that way are doomed, but these guys might have a chance. We'll have to hope the fortress holds. We at least have the walls in place, but if they say land right here, there's not much to stop them. Build the towers quicker! Go, go, go! Oh no, also the giant ballista helps. That got rid of the guy that was starting to cause us issues. But yeah, we are miles away from actually building our towers over here yet, so they're gonna make a bit of progress. Good job I built those walls when I did then. It would have been a lot worse otherwise. They at least have to get through walls to get anywhere. Let's get our armies in position just in case they are needed, but I think we'll be alright. Here we go. These guys now are going to have very little resistance because the ballista don't do much to them because they're like guaranteed kill 4 of them, but there's a lot more than 4 of them on each ship, so it's going to take a while. Also, why is that gate closed? Why is it manned? Oh, of course, the ones at the back. Let's close these. There we go. Wait a minute, they're still opening and closing. They don't even need to be manned. I was lied to. I've been fooled this entire time by these gatekeepers telling me how important their job is, when in fact we had automatic gates. Don't ask me how we'd made them. Of course that guy just, like, why did he go diagonally through? He just wanted to wreck as many bridges as possible. Oh, we've got a breach. Are they going to get through though? It looks like they're actually leaving now, or they're trying to land and getting very confused. They're going sideways. I don't know what is this? It's multi-track drifting. I don't understand anything anymore. It's just left. It's like we knocked it down. Now let's go knock down more walls somewhere else. And now they're just going to die. Yep, there they go. And that, I believe, is the Viking attack over. Not too bad. Only lost 1 wall, and that was on a completely undefended section. There we go. Everything's fine again. I think everything else is in place. And the towers are being finished at this stage. Alright, back to work, everyone. All is well, nothing to panic about. And let's see how much further we can get with our farms and our houses and such. Should I annihilate all trees? A tempting prospect, to be sure. But we do need some wood cutting, but then we have it around in other places. We can actually move trees around to places where it's more convenient as well if we like, so I'm going to do that by building a forester over here. And we're going to try and populate this area around here with trees. So we're going to make sure we don't let trees die out. That could cause us genuine issues. Not really sure how that'll go. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut down all the trees in this area. And we're just going to keep going. I think I'm accidentally undoing some of these orders here because I'm just randomly clicking on them and hitting C. And C may also be undo the chopping order. So, whoops, I'm definitely missing some here. Once we clear them out, we'll be able to see what we're doing. There we go, get it back to there so far. And I think this needs moving. Which is a shame, because it's full of all sorts of useful stuff. There's also armaments in there for some reason. Yep, I'm going to demolish that. And also this, we no longer need our crazy stone supply. We're never going to need that much stone again. So that's nice news. And look, there we go. The trees are already expanding out in that direction. Which means we can start clearing them away from here. I'm going to get rid of the foresters around here. Okay, the forester, as it turns out. And then we'll chop down everything in this area. So we can make space for more housing. Not that we're quite ready for that yet. also gonna demolish this? Nah, not yet. We'll leave it. I will clear out these roads. Then we're nearly ready for our city block to be built. Oh, wow. Lightning struck a tree and set it on fire. That's not happened in ages. Is that going to set the stockpile on fire? Nope, everything's fine. The tree just burned away. All is well. Right, and this has gone nicely. A couple of trees left. We'll chop those too. And then I might get rid of this iron. I don't know if we need it. What iron are we mining right now? We've got this one over here that we're mining non-stop. Same for this one. Is there any more iron around? Don't think there is. So if we removed both of these, that would be a little bit risky. Yeah, we're probably going to need them because we're already... Like, our tool throughput needs all the iron we're currently mining, which means we'll need another iron deposit being mined soon. But I think we might be able to get rid of that one. What we'll do is not actually get rid of one. We'll just build the farms around it, and it's going to make barely any difference to things overall. Yeah, I might make this another 5-wide thing. That seems to be a good way of doing it. Is that better than having it 6-wide, though? Not really sure. It might actually make sense to do 6. I was about to say that's what I've done here, but this is really not any sort of system at all. This is just a mess. I've not fixed it. I really should at some point, but I'd rather just build more farms. We have the room. I think I'll stick with being 5-wide. We'll get the overlap from the windmills, which seems like a decent idea. Then we get farms making like 18 per year and stuff like that. I think that works, but I can't be bothered doing the numbers in my head to work out if it really makes sense overall. What we could do is work out what lines up nicely with the land that we have. So 5-wide and then road here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Road here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Road here. And we've got a bit of space left. So if we did it 6 every time, it would line up wonderfully. But another thing we could do, now I think about it, is do it lengthways. If that works quite as well. How wide is this at its like thinnest point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then there's a lot of wider land, so if we did roads out here, we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 road, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 road. That also works nicely. But there's a lot of encroaching piers in that case, and that's probably not as good. Just making lots of strips of this way probably lines up nicer, and then we'll work something out for this. We might do it differently when we get over there. So that is the plan. I'll stop putting in the road, but then we'll finish for today because we are going over time. Where to actually build this road though? This whole thing's a mess. I guess we'll have it here, and then we'll be able to have a whole bunch of buildings around here. That's nice. This doesn't line up quite so brilliantly, but it means we've got room for our granaries at this end here, so overall pretty good. Let's just extend this along to here, have it join up with that, and then I forgot about the reason I'm putting this one in place is so I can then put this one in place. Not that I can extend that very far, because at the moment we don't have the trees cleared out, and they are starting to grow back again, but we'll sort that out. I like how the stockpile is just the same as before. It's just that it's not built on a wooden frame anymore. The stuff just sat on the ground and there's a tree in the middle of it. Because no one's actually moved the stuff anywhere because we've got so much material we don't need it. Everything's on the up apart from... Well, some stuff's saying it's going down, but it's going up. We had 600 before. And now we have 100 more, and we're still apparently losing 20 per year. No idea how that works. But, oh, food might not be great. Could be the rain. Not really sure. Either way, we're building more farms, so that should be fine. So yeah, happy with how things are going. We're continuing to expand, more houses, more farms, and we're planning out our future in that respect. Basically just, I think, going to turn this entire island into farm, and then have houses everywhere else. And we'll just see how many population we can get, because there's achievements, and I think they go up to something crazy like 5,000 population, and I want to see if we can possibly reach that far, we'll probably have to remove our, like, service buildings and stuff and just make the place entirely farms and houses for that. But I think that might be one of the goals. We'll have to see. We'll have to see whether it's even possible for us to reach it. But that is all we have time for today, so I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.